It's a common situation. You've enjoyed an amazing meal at a wonderful restaurant, walked out and thought to yourself, why the heck does their food taste so much better than what I cook at home? I think I'm a pretty good cook. What am I doing wrong? Let's dive into this mystery and figure out together what you can try to change to pull out that little extra something in your home cooked food. Because you know you and your food deserve it. Welcome to Apaulo's Diner. Hello and welcome, my friends and fellow Apollonians. Welcome to Apaulo's Diner. I'm your host, Apaulo Jupiter, and today we're here to find out why your food doesn't always flatter your taste buds the same way it does when you're dining at a fancy restaurant. In my opinion, the number one reason, and the one you can easily fix, comes down to these simple ingredients: salt and fat. Yes, you heard it right, my friends. It might be a shock to some, but good food just needs salt and fat. And let's face it, so do our souls from time to time. Now, many people try to be very cautious with these, either because of health concerns or because they don't realize just how important they really are. But let me tell you, good chefs usually don't hold back. They are far more generous with salt and fats like olive oil or butter, because these are what elevate a dish from, yeah, okay, to wow. Now, don't get me wrong here. Of course, you shouldn't go dumping an entire salt shaker into your pot or throwing a brick of butter into your sauce. That would probably not lead you to your dinner table, but rather to hugging the toilet. But if you recognize yourself here being overly cautious with salt and fat, try using a little bit more than you normally would and see how much of a difference it can actually make. Taste often as you go, and if you think it's good but still missing that little extra something, try a pinch more salt or a touch of butter. It might be a game changer. Let's take a simple example. A good Italian tomato sauce, which I just love to cook. It will never be the same if you're not using a generous amount of high quality olive oil as a base. A small spoonful often just isn't enough. Same goes for tomato pulp, for example. It often needs a generous amount of salt to really bring out its amazing flavor. A little sprinkle often just isn't enough. Of course, this isn't an encouragement to devour whole pieces of butter or piles of salt every day. Yes, you should please watch your intake a bit. But if you're otherwise following a healthy lifestyle with regular movement and a balanced diet, I'm convinced that using a little bit more salt and fat in your cooking won't harm your health, but will have a huge positive effect on the taste of your food. Now that we've covered the magic of salt and fat, let's talk about a few other factors that separate restaurant dishes from home-cooked meals. One other factor is that professional chefs often have access to way better equipment than we do at home. But that's something we can't change overnight. Maybe we can upgrade gradually though. But remember, your mom probably made magic happen with just a wooden spoon and a pan. And so can we. What we can do, however, right away is grab better quality ingredients. Chefs often use very fresh, high quality products in their dishes. So if you're planning to show off your cooking skills to friends or family, consider investing a little more than usual in better quality products. For example, while cheaper canned tomatoes are usually fine for everyday cooking, slightly more expensive and original brands like Mutti, for example, will make a noticeable difference in terms of taste and often texture. Fresh herbs are also a game changer. Fresh basil, for example, is also incomparable to the dried version. Chefs also layer flavors. If you want to add that little extra something to your dish, try adding a little splash of acidity, for example, like vinegar or citrus, to brighten the dish. It's like a little culinary facelift minus the Botox. Just don't overdo it and always taste as you go. Start with only a little splash and see if it fits. Last but not least, some of the biggest factors, of course, are experience, preparation, and presentation. And those are things you can achieve too. Let's go on this journey together here on this channel, learning the skills to elevate your cooking to restaurant quality. Start by being a bit more generous with salt and fat. So the next time you cook, try adding a little bit more of those and tell me in the comments if you've noticed a difference. I'd love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful and entertaining, please give it a like. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me a lot. Also click the bell to be notified whenever new content becomes available. Also check out this cool content. Thank you so much, my friends and fellow Apollonians. See you in the next video.